Salutations, ladies and gentlemen, Mr. V back with another casted game of Age of Empires 3, once again brought to us by the Age of Sunbros Discord server, from which I blatantly stole this game for my own content. No, they are a fantastic community over there. Consider joining the Age of Sunbros. They welcome players of all levels, and yeah, just a really cool group of people. But we are going to be seeing a very interesting Aztec build today, which is why I'm hovering on the Aztecs. Now, this is not a super high level game, but it is going to showcase a build that if you are not careful playing against an Aztec player, you will get burned. So let me introduce the players, and then I'll give you a little bit of info on what I'm talking about. In the southwest part of the map, we have, in the color blue, playing as the previously mentioned Aztecs, TFL. And he's getting his first shipment now, getting down 2 houses, and the community plaza already has an army of treasure guardians, which, first tip for playing against Aztecs, don't run into their war chief, because he will be flanked by at least 2 guardians and probably an eagle scout, and you will just get destroyed, especially if you are a standard European civ. Sending 3 vills there, although it was a bit delayed, TFL. Make sure you get that shipment out right away. Meanwhile, in the northeast part of the map, playing in the color red as the Ottomans, we have Kukurul, and he got his trading post, his house, and his mosque down, sending 3 villagers. Very standard Ottoman play. Now, when I was seeing this recording on the Discord server, it mentioned a Jaguar Prowler Knight rush, and this is a build I have been seeing more and more, and it is incredibly difficult to deal with if you do not create the right units. Now, first off, what are Jaguar Prowler Knights? For those of you that may not know, some of you may be new to AOE3, they are a melee infantry unit that the Aztecs can build. They are incredibly powerful. They have the stealth ability, and they shred 2 types of units specifically, those being cavalry and heavy infantry, though if they catch light infantry or any unit, they will obliterate them. Now, they're also very fast, and they're very massable if you have the right deck, and we can see that TFL, he has the 9 Prowler Knights, he has the 6 Prowler Knights, which are infinite, and then he also has some more mercenary shipments, and he also has Coyote Runners, which pairing Prowler Knights and Coyotes can be absolutely horrifying, especially if you play Dutch like me, because your skirmishers all of a sudden just get flanked by coyotes, and then Prowler Knights show up out of nowhere, and everything just gets obliterated, and you sit there and cry deeply, and then go about your life. But we do see 40 wood being collected by TFL, and look at this. He's got a Witch Hunter, he's got a Musketeer, he's got his Eagle Scout, and oh boy. Gritli, Ottoman Explorer, do not run into them. You will be destroyed. Now, what is the Ottoman player Kukurul doing? Already going up to the 2nd age, has a shipment stored up. He is playing, so far, very, very, very standard Ottoman, which is good. And TFL also going up to the 2nd age. They're almost identical. In fact, TFL getting up a little faster because he did age up with the fast age up. And, oh no! Oh, Kukurul getting the melee. Oh no. Okay, pro advice here, guys. Do never go up against ranged guardians with your ranged attack. It is always better to go up against these guys in melee. So if this is being guarded by 2 gunmen, you crack shot 1, and then you crack shot him close enough to the 2nd one that he will enter into melee, because the ranged guardians have a much weaker melee attack than they do a ranged attack. Now, a little fun fact there. Kukurul sending the 700 coins, so we might be seeing a very quick age up from him. And just to let you guys know, this is not a super high level game once again. I think these guys are kind of 11, 12, 1300, so just below my level, and I am by no means a good player. So if you do see some mistakes here, approach it with grace. These guys are not top 100 leaderboard, but they still put this game out there, and we are very thankful for it. But oh no! what we predicted has come to pass, although smart move by the Ottoman Explorer, taking out one of the treasure guardians. You can use your crack shot on converted guardians, that is possible, but 45 XP for the Aztec player, and he is now sending 5 villagers, so gonna beef up his economy. Meanwhile, Kukurul gathering up his 700 coin, already has 1,600 food, so he might be able to get a very quick age up time. In fact, he might even get it under... No, he's not going to get it under 6 minutes, but he could possibly get it in like 6:10, 6:15. It's a 40-second age up, so actually he might get it before 6 minutes, which is really, really good. What is TFL doing? No forward base yet, but just wait. Just wait. If this build is anything like the builds I have been facing, the scary part will be coming shortly. He's got 23 vills versus only 15 from Ottoman. So Ottoman really sacrificing his economy there, but he's got some powerful H3 shipments. He's got delis, he's got spahis, he's got falconets, he's got a fort, he's got 3, no, sorry, I thought that was 3 outposts. Advanced frontier defenses, mosque construction. So not the most amazing H3 deck, but he does have a lot of H4 cards. So possibly going for some sort of FI. Though against Aztec, that is certainly going to be very risky. 2 shipments saved up and 900 food. So he could possibly be getting Spahis out very, very quickly, which against H2 Aztec can be effective, but they do have some pretty good anti-cav units, Puma Spearmen, and as well as the Jaguar Prowler Knights, which we have already gloated about. And what are we seeing from TFL? Nothing crazy here. His herding has been decent. A lot of villagers going to coin here, but both sides have, well, no, actually, Kukurul has done a nice job getting this herd in, but Aztec kind of flaying his villagers all over the map here could be risky if he ever faces any sort of pressure. But now the H3 has been locked in, and his economy is going to be quite a bit better than the Ottomans. Ottoman up to 17 vills, sending the 5 spahis, which if they find this group of juicy villagers, they are going to devour the cookie jar and kill every single one of them. And 2 falconets to follow that up, which... I would love to see him get down some sort of military building as well, because just 5 cav to protect 2 falconets might not be enough, especially if 6 pumas come out, though the falconets would be able to deal with those quite quickly. TFL now getting his age up almost complete, and he's got some really powerful shipments here, including the very scary Prowler Knights. I know I'm building them up a lot, but I swear these guys are terrifying. So, what do we see? Still no forward vills yet, but I know they're coming. I have not watched this game, but I know they're coming, because as soon as I read Jaguar Prowler Rush, I was like, oh yeah, this is the bane of my existence. It's not the only thing Aztec can do, but this melee-centric focus for Aztec has been really, really fun to see. And the Noble's Hut is going down. It's not going to go in a forward position, but given that the Jaguar Prowler Knights are so fast, I don't think that's going to be much of a problem. The second Noble's Hut Travois is traveling a little bit farther out, and these are going to build so quickly thanks to the Travois ability, much faster than if villagers had to build them. And the Great Temple of Quetzalcoatl is already up. The Spahis are on the way, though. They might be able to get some early economic damage. Maybe the war chief will be able to hold out with his guardian army, but he did a nice job kind of corralling this noble's hut against this trading post. So makes for a very small causeway for the Spahi to slip in through. Nice job getting his villagers back. So the Spahi raid is not going to be overly effective, although the 2 falconets doing a wide Tokyo drift. I don't know if they're... Are we seeing a falconet raid, ladies and gentlemen? The classic 2 falc raid. Send out your 2 falcs to find any lonesome villagers and obliterate them. Now, Prowler Knights have come out. 9 Prowler Knights also on the way. And these Prowler Knights, Spahi, are effective, but they will be decimated by the Prowler Knights. They now did get 1 villager, so the Spahi are being active. The Falconets are now very vulnerable, sitting here in the back of the map, which I don't know why, but they are. And they are going to be reinforced by veteran Nizam Fusilier, which will be effective against the Prowler Knights, but because the Prowler Knights have stealth, they are very, very hard to locate. Another villager going down. TFL down to 20 villagers against 20 for Ottomans, so actually really nice job by Kukurul, evening up the villager count. And wow, TFL has not queued up any vills in a long time. And now we see the engagement here. And oh, the Spahi are going to be able to get out of there. Possibly a miss by TFL, though I don't know. Can Kukurul even see them? Okay, they're out of his sight now, but he's doubling back to his base, so he must have seen them. And look at the Falconet and the Fusilier. I think kind of a missed placement here. I don't know why these Falconets are all alone. And oh, TFL, another golden opportunity miss. So both players a bit sloppy with their micro, not focusing on their armies. The Aztec player missing a huge opportunity to isolate that small group, and they would have gotten obliterated. But even now, look at this army. It's Janissaries, cannons, heavy cav, and just a few light infantry. They will get absolutely decimated by this army of insane melee infantry. And here they come. We currently have 27 Prowler Knights. Oh my god, with 12 more on the way. That's 39 Prowler Knights. And ladies and gentlemen, they have 43 siege attack. They will rip down this town center. Look at that. A fifth of the town center's health going down in just one swing. And now they're going to engage. The Spahi cannot body block because they will not last very long at all. Look at that. One Spahi going down. These are tanky cav, ladies and gentlemen, but they stand no chance. The Janissaries melee attack? No. Get out of my way. The Falconets? Nice try. Goodbye. See you later. Go sit on the bench, Spahi. How about you? You're next. You want some? Okay, let's go. And you're dead. Look at that. And there are still 19 Prowler Knights remaining. That was 2 Falconets, 5 Spahi, a handful of Janissaries, and a handful of Fusilier, which are their counter, and they still got obliterated. This town center does not stand a chance in the world, and once it goes down, Kukurul trying to send Delhi, but they would have also gotten obliterated. And there's the game. A short 11-minute rush. Now, could Ottoman have held that? Yes, but not with the build that he had. If he had gotten out more Fusilier or some Abyss gun or something that had range that could have kited, he could have held out. Now, would his town center have been safe? Probably not. But against Aztec, you have to keep in mind that this is a possibility. And one of the best ways to know whether it's coming or not is to scout the deck. I've been doing this more and more in my games, and I encourage you, if you want to try to get more ELO, like I'm not the person to ask, but just one tip I can give is go at the start of the game, click on this button here, click on your opponent's flag, and you'll be able to see their deck once their first shipment is in. And if you look at this deck, okay, Coyote Tactics, okay, Coyote upgrades, and then an Age 3 that's full of Prowler Knights. To me, this would signal, okay, he's going to come at me with a lot of melee infantry. I've got to go with a ranged infantry build to try to counter, but I also need some anti-cav to deal with the Coyote runners. So just one of the things that you can do to try to predict this build. Now, is Aztec going to do this every time? No. But against civs like Ottoman that rely on heavy infantry and heavy cavalry, it could be really effective. Other civs I could see this being effective against, possibly Brit, simply because their skirmisher is longbowmen, which are not very good at kiting. I don't know. Maybe this would work against, like, I mean, it works pretty well against Dutch if Dutch does not know what's coming. I can tell you that from firsthand experience, but certainly very, very effective if you are an Aztec player. Give this a shot, though. Do remember, you sacrifice quite a bit of your economy, and your unit diversity is nil. And so if your opponent plays to counter this, you are basically dead. And if you don't use your stealth, and if he sees it and he's able to start kiting, all of these guys will be killed, and they're very expensive. So just, I had to kind of go off there because, again, I've been seeing this in the games I've been playing, and I just was super excited to see another set of players showing this build, which I think, especially, you know, in the lower ELOs, could be a fun way to spice up your Aztec play. But let's look at everything in more depth. Follow me to the post game. All right, ladies and gentlemen, here we are in the post game, and I already covered a lot of the things I wanted to say. Just a couple more things to look at here. Only a 700 resource difference between Aztec and Ottoman. So, and this is an Ottoman that did a blind FF. So just remember, Aztec, this is a very eco-taxing build. And even though you send, 3-vil, 5-vil, you are not going to have a super effective economy just because you're dumping so much into those Jaguar Prowler Knights and getting those noble huts up. Now, I don't think TFL played that perfectly. I think he still should have been creating vils, but it is kind of an all-in rush. It's a pike rush on steroids, basically. And when we go to the military, we only see, basically one unit coming out, and that is the Prowler Knights. But against what Kukurul was making, there was no chance. None of those units that he had were either good, or there just wasn't enough of them. Those Fusiliers, once they got into melee combat, it was all over. And when we look at the timeline, we see that the villager counts, a lot of flatlining here from both players. Now, with Ottoman, this is pretty common, but especially with Aztec, we see a huge flatline here at the end, and he only had 20 villagers at the end. So if you are going to play this build, I think one of the changes you need to make from what we saw from TFL is you do need to somehow keep getting villagers out, maybe not go as all in, so that if it doesn't work, you can kind of fall back. But if this build doesn't work, if the initial push doesn't work, you're kind of screwed either way. But we see in the military population, look at that, nosedive, all the way down to 0 units with still 16 remaining. But yeah, really, really fun build, and I was really, really happy to show it. I hope you guys enjoyed it, whether you're an Aztec player or you've also been foiled by the Aztec civilization. But guys, until the next casted game, have a great day, have a great life, see you later.